allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Kara, can you do a roll call for us, please?
Lyon,
Ward 1 here.
Schaefer,
Ward 1 here.
Dillon,
Ward 2 here.
Massey, Ruffing,
Ward 3 here.
Lockwood,
Ward 3 here.
Carter,
Ward 4 here.
Heisman, Ward 4 here.
Okay, we have a quorum? Okay. Next on the agenda, any comments about this agenda from the floor? Anyone? Okay, we'll move on. The next is the approval of the minutes for August. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Next is the approval of the bills for August. Do I have a motion? Is that time? Okay. A second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
The next is the approval of the monthly reports, the city clerk report, the city treasurer, and court clerk for August. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Okay. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
And our first local law on the agenda is local law number 9, amending the local law number 8 of 2024 for calendar year to fiscal year with the local law per state governance and guidance. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Okay. We need a roll call on this particular one.
Lyon,
Yes.
Schaefer,
Yes.
Dillon,
Yes.
Ruffing,
Yes.
Lockwood,
Yes.
Carter,
Yes.
Heisman. Yes.
Okay. Our next local law number 10, amending local law number 5 of June 3rd, 2025, establishing a uniform schedule of fees for codes department permit fees for inspection. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, we need another roll call.
Lyon,
Yes.
Schaefer,
Yes.
Dillon,
Yes.
Ruffing,
Yes.
Lockwood,
Yes.
Carter,
Yes.
Heisman. Yes.
And the next one, Resolution 74, of course, we deleted that one, so our numbering will change a little bit. So the next one would be Resolution number 74, it will take its place. Amending West Canada Creek Fire District contract. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Okay. I'll leave the discussion on this one. What we're looking to do is, essentially West Canada Creek Fire District, this Dalgeville, they have a Zodiac boat that they wanted to get rid of, and we would like it. And so we've had it here. We used it during canal days on the water. Works like a charm. It's the kind of boat that we need for water rescue. And we are training our firefighters for fast water, and that's a certification they get, and most of them have that. So any time here, an emergency could happen around the water with 2 bodies of water. So they would like to sell it to us for $2,500 and split their payments over 2 months going forward. The amendment basically allows them to pay $1,250 less for 2 months in order to pay for the Zodiac. So any discussion on that? It's kind of one of those practical things that is really helpful. And they've allowed our guys to use it and get comfortable with it, so they know that it was hardly, I think it was used once for training, and then they never used it again.
Where will they store it?
Pardon?
Where will they store the boat?
It's stored in the fire station downstairs. It's on a little trailer, but we have access to a larger boat, but most of the time when you're getting out and you have to go fast, that's easier to pull somebody out of the water into that Zodiac. So we need a roll call if there aren't any other questions. Okay?
Lyon,
Yes.
Schaefer,
Yes.
Dillon,
Yes.
Ruffin,
Yes.
Lockwood,
Yes.
Carter,
Yes.
Heisman. Yes.
Okay, the next one is resolution number 75 now, as we've adjusted our numbers, to pay the additional cost of construction improvements. I'm going to shorten that considerably. What we're looking at is a resolution to be able to go after grants, to be approved for grants for the water treatment, at both reservoirs and the work that we are going to do in phase 2. Phase 1 was 5 million that we went after, close to 6 million, and that was the emergency side. Now we're looking at where do we go from here, and we're looking at getting grants. And if you look at the resolution, it looks like a typical bond because it is. We have to prove for the WIA grant that we have the capacity to borrow up to 3.9 million. It doesn't mean that we have to spend this money or go after it right now, but we have to show the ability, the creditability that we could fund this going forward if we were awarded that money. So just like all grants, the WIA grant application is due on 9/12, so it's coming up here pretty quickly. It's a full grant with no match, so it's a really good grant that we want to get to basically pay for much of what we're doing. And in order to, we qualify for it because of our median household income, that it's determined by the Department of Health, but we do qualify for that. So that's what this is about. We need a motion to bring it to the floor.
Motion.
Second?
Second.
Okay. I'll continue the discussion because I want you all to appreciate what this really means. So the grant would be reimbursable through EFC, and we've used EFC before, if you might recall, on different things where we're allowed to, it's like interim financing, if you were building a house. So they allow us to draw down and, to a certain level, we pay off a contractor to do part of the work, and then we send it for reimbursement to EFC, and they give us a check for it. So that keeps us flush, kind of like a very quick CHIPS funding, where we spend the money and then we get the reimbursement back in a couple of months. But with EFC, once you get set up with it for this project, which we have a portion of it in the early project, it makes it very fast and allows us to borrow the money, and then through multiple closings over a span of time, we pay that back. The WIA grant is what we're really after because that's a full grant, no match. And the remainder of the project, we're assuming that's going to run about 3.9 million going forward. That's our cap that we're working with right now. The remainder of the project, 1.1 million, that would be left over from what we can get out of the WIA grant, would be funded through an SRF loan, which provides 0% interest for the entirety of the loan since we qualify for hardship funding. So that's another good thing to be able to go forward. So this is phase 1 we went through. Now this is phase 2. We're looking ahead and trying to get in this WIA grant before they close it out this year. We can also apply for a block grant, which a lot of people are familiar with, for another $1 million if we need it. So there's no obligation on the city's part to go forward with the WIA grant, and if we don't get enough grant money, if they don't approve us or we don't get enough grant money to cover the project that we have specified, then we just simply won't go forward. But we have to prove that we are credit worthy enough up to this dollar amount in order to go after the WIA grant. So this is simply applying for the grants. It doesn't lock us into anything unless we sign the funding grant agreement. So provided we get approved, which I'm hoping we will, then that agreement would come back to you all to take a look at, and then we'd get approval on that before we go forward. So essentially, they're giving us a line of credit if we want to tap into it to 3.9. And That's what this is all about. Any questions? Kind of a different thing that we've had to do. Okay. We'll need a roll call on this one as well.
Lyon.
Yes.
Schaefer.
Yes.
Dillon.
Yes.
Ruffing.
Yes.
Lockwood.
Yes.
Carter.
Yes.
Eisman. Yes.
Okay. And our next one is resolution number 76 now, as we've renumbered, authorizing the mayor to execute seller's agreement with River Hills Properties and to purchase offer agreements for the sale of certain vacant property. These are city-owned properties. When I first went through and identified how many that we had that were maybe just small enough for a parking spot or large enough for a house or just odd little pieces here and there, I came up with 37. We're looking at 18 lots in the resolution. And this is what this particular item is all about. So do I have a motion?
Motion.
A second?
Second.
Okay. Continuing the conversation here, the discussion, these are vacant properties that are not generating any tax revenue. Putting them in the hands of people who are looking for off-street parking or would like to add on to their house or just want the privacy of having a nice lot next to them. That's what this is all about. Bianca spent an enormous amount of time with Jessica Reich from River Hills, and they went driving, walking, street by street to come up with the initial list. And what River Hills has offered to us is a flat rate commission of $500 per property sold, except for one version, which is Glen Avenue. And you'll see in the attachment A there, we have the bundles, Glen Avenue. There are 6 different parcels going up that street, and toward the end of it, that a developer could come in and supposedly put in 6 homes up there. There's some challenges with some hills, but this is Little Falls. Everything has been built on a hill at some point in time. So that particular one she's listing it at $90,000 and requesting her 6% because she will cover both sides of the agreement.
That's standard. In New York
It is.
State, 6%, just so you folks know, is standard.
So you see all the parcel numbers, and if you have Land Glide, you can look at it. If not, you need more information. If you do a search for the parcel number or come into my office, I'll pull it up for you so you can see where that is located. Most of them are at 4,000 or 5,000. One of them at 10,000. A few of them at 10,000. So they kind of vary. The one that was 521 Garden Street, that is the 2 lots behind Ruggierios, is up on the market again, and so that's 11,000. That was the market price that was set for that previously. And Monroe Street, this one, the 338 West Monroe, is right on the corner of West Monroe and Top Notch. As you come in, it's on the left-hand side, and it's just an empty lot there that happened to be a city lot, and it's perfectly sized for a house. So a couple of them are a little bit larger. Glen Avenue, there's some acreage with the first parcel. I think there's 8 acres, but it goes up a hill. But we're hoping that somebody, because of the bundling of all these little lots, that would see it as an opportunity to put some housing in there and to, put these back on the market. They're doing no one any good. I promise you, you drive by them every day and it just looks like an overgrown lot and you don't even pay attention to it. So this is just the beginning. I think that there are others that we could look at, but we're very careful. We wanted to make sure that these are not something that is going to cause a lot of ruckus in the neighborhood, or that this is, what they've been using forever. So we're very careful. These are just odd lots you would see when you start going through. But what I'm looking for is a resolution approval to go ahead and execute a seller's agreement on these properties with River Hills at the prices that I've been talking about, the flat rate for $500 a parcel. on anything that is under that 90,000, and the 90,000 would be 6%. Each parcel is sold separately, so there's 18 agreements that would be involved in this. And it's a starting place. We'll see, what the market will bear. Some of them I look at it and I think, I don't know, but $5,000 to have, a little extra cushion next to your house is pretty affordable. So, and in the past, we've really sold them for $1 or $500 at most. And this is the first time we've actually looked at market rate.
I have a question on the Monroe Street property. Is that the one that's on the corner, is that Kingsbury? That's on that corner, is that?
No, it's on the corner of Top Notch Road and Monroe Street.
If you turn right on Top Notch, Jonathan, it's on the left, right there at that left.
You know where the
corner.
red house is on the
Okay.
corner?
All right.
It's directly across the street from that.
All right. Thank you, sorry.
That's okay. Any of the details on the properties, if you want to look at them, come see me and then I'll show you what we have so far. So, do I have any other questions, discussion?
Are there going to be for sale sign on?
Yeah. They, because there's so many, they've got an abridged version of their regular signs because it was so costly, and $500 are not going to, make much money on these. But she has offered to do it as just a flat rate, so there'll be smaller signs.
Do you know when they'll have the market?
When they're going to market, she'll probably put them on as quickly as we approve. So she's ready to get started and wanting to take advantage of the season where it's not snow covered. And so we've got a couple of months here. Any other questions? Okay. Need a roll call?
Lyon,
Yes.
Schaefer.
Yes.
Dillon.
Yes.
Ruffing.
Yes.
Blackwood.
Yes.
Carter.
Yes.
Weisman. Yes.
Okay. Next, do we have any new business? Okay. Any old business? Okay. Any comments from the floor?
Yes, thank you.
And could you say your name, if you would?
Yes, my name is Alan Kazmersky. I'm a resident of Little Falls. And it's nice to see that we've got a new bakery coming to town. And it's nice to see that perhaps the Copper Moose has a new tenant for a restaurant. Maybe we're turning the corner on our vacancies on Main Street. But we do have an issue. We have storefronts that store owners don't keep their windows inside or outside clean, and they don't sweep the storefronts walkways. So I'm asking that the Common Council look into writing an ordinance that compels store shops to keep their windows clean and sweep the sidewalks. And it should have some teeth, so if they aren't in compliance, a certified letter is sent to the shop owners. And if they don't clean their windows or sweep the sidewalks, there's a fine of some sort, maybe $100 for the first month, $250 for the second, $500 for a third month. And if they don't pay the fines, they are added to the tax levy. So I think the municipality has the power to do this. So I'm asking you to look into that. When I bring friends or visitors to walk down Main Street, it's embarrassing. And I imagine when investors come and they look and walk down Main Street, it's embarrassing to see these dirty windows. So I just think it's a way that we can help Main Street look a little bit nicer to future investors.
I think it's a great idea. I think it falls in line with, dirty windows, you end up with blighted looking areas, and we're doing so much. And Kathy Chrisman with her purchases and what she's doing with these properties down there, it's amazing. So I think it's a good idea. I don't know how others feel, but I'd be happy to put a resolution together and dig into it a little bit to see what other communities are doing about something similar.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay. Chet is not here for his, he had a conflict that he wasn't able to change. He is working, and he's presenting in the village of Dalesville. But I do have a few things to mention to you about what's been going on in his area, that as long as you don't drill too deep, I think I can answer your questions. This week, we're working up at the watershed, and will be for the next 2 or 3 weeks. This includes surveyors and drillers, Spruce Lake Dam area mostly. And so that's the beginning of some of the things that we need to repair in order to be able to use Spruce Lake as a water source going forward. So they're just starting to get kind of more of a scope of work, that sort of thing, what it's going to take. Also, we have some paving that we're hoping to be able to start this week going into next week, and it's hot mix paving on Birch Street and King Streets. We also had a complaint about Hancock Street, that the paving there is scheduled for the fall, but we need some the hot paving as well, so a more permanent fix than just the cold paving. We also have for those who've been inconvenienced with the water up at Moreland Park, we've had no water. We have water turned off, and so you had to bring your own water in for most of the summer. That was because the DOH pretty much came down and said you cannot use the well water that you had been using. But long ago, we had the pipes there that fed city water to Moreland Park. So we are returning to that, and our water treatment guys have been up there, and they've been with a plumber, they've been working with planning it all out, and so that is going to be happening. And they hope that it's going to be a small job. It's something we can handle internally. We shouldn't have to go out for much, if anything, except maybe a local plumber to help out with something, but outside of that, it should be low cost to the city, but a smart thing to do for the future, I think. They dug it up, and they've been told for many years that you couldn't use it, it was just worthless, but they dug it up and thought, well, you know, it's really not that bad. I think we can fix this. So I was happy to hear about that. We are also involved in the bid for timber harvesting, and in the budget, we had budgeted $60,000 for the timber as far as revenue we were thinking for this year, because we had harvested so much last year. Well, the forester that we work with went through the whole property and found a little pocket of red pine that happens to be very popular right now and very pricey. And one of the bidders threw out some numbers that would double what we thought we were going to get out of it. So we don't know yet. The bidding will start this next week, I believe, and at least we have one buyer who wants that red pine. So that'll help with the budget a little bit, so we're thankful for that. Also, Bassett Hospital, kind of give you an idea of what's been going on down there and why we're still torn up. As they were working on a ditch out in front of Bassett, where the emergency room is, on Bassett property, they pulled one cinder block and moved it to another place, and when they did, the other cratered down, and it's an 8-foot sinkhole. Another one. So that has to be repaired before they can open anything up and before we can do much more on our end. So we're working at CT Mail's been looking at it and giving them some quotes and what could be done and what they did to shore it up before. But you look under the slab and it's just a canyon for 8 feet. So I mean, that has just been the project, I would say, from hell. It really has been challenging. Anything else that anybody has a question about with regard to what Chet's been working on at the moment? Okay. He'll give I think you have his updated list of projects.
Did they have an estimate on how much of them the way the construction went?
Not at this point. Should have something. The holiday weekend got in the way. I think they discovered it Thursday or Friday last. What would have been Thursday probably, Wednesday or Thursday. So trying to get somebody out there, but they are working on it, and It's just one of those things when you start digging around here for some reason. Okay, so that's engineer. Mayor's comments. Our cash position, Sarah gave this to me the other day. We've since paid off the brand, so it's been reduced. So the cash position was $1,747,000, and we paid off the brand, which reduced it to $843,277. So it's lower than we typically run in the account. We do have our $894,298 in our reserve account. That is the reserved funds for pension plan and things like that that we know are going to be hitting us in February. So a little bit lower, we've got the deficit financing ban that we've been working on, and that is going through. We should have funds available for we decided to stick with $3 million at this moment in time, thinking that's going to be enough for what we need to do. We'll see as we get through the year, but that will help out a great deal, because we've got $2.1 million going into the general fund, $666,000 going into the water fund, and I believe around $20,000 going into the line in the general fund. So all that's good, and hopefully will bring us back to level, and where we have a conversation going on with the state as to how we can use those funds. And a little bit different than our last meeting, but there's a little bit of hurdle in understanding, I would say, that we need to make sure we're all on the same page. Currently, we have 88,000 in 90-day to 120-day payables, 68,616 in the 60 to 90, 30 to 60 day, 123,000, and 0 to 30 days, 98,000. If you recall, it wasn't that long ago that it was in the hundreds of thousands. So we're whittling it down, and with the deficit financing, we'd like to be able to clear this out for everybody. You know, it's going to. We'll see what we can use and what we can't use for that purpose. Other notes, the brand that we paid off was $904,000, and that was just paid off the other day. We collected so far in our tax revenue. We've collected $3,664,000, and expected is $3,960,000. So about $300,000 to be collected yet. So we're collecting. People are moving it through, which is great. And like I said, the deficit financing should be $3 million, and that should come in the 17th of this month. Other comments, things going on. Assemblyman Smullen will be taking a tour of Canal Place on September the 10th, around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, as part of his District Day tours. And so Canal Place will be showcased, and I think that'll be fun, especially with Foxtail opening. Told that it's not tails, but one tail, Foxtail opening down there. So we're excited about that. We also had a visit from a production location scout over the last week or so for an upcoming series. Very positive comments about his visit to Little Falls, and as we get more information, we'll be sharing it. Shooting would be 2026 April and fall timeframe, and it would include 300 crew members working on the production for approximately 20 days. So that ought to be interesting. We'll keep you posted, but they liked everything that they saw, and we checked all the boxes, so fingers crossed. We also had Tim Ryan and his staff here from Division of the Budget visit us and talk through deficit financing process, toured City Hall, Fire Department, water treatment membrane. Was really, really impressed with the membrane. I didn't think we were ever going to get them out of the trailer. And it's a very tight quarters in there. They were really interested, fascinated with the newer technology. We have a new restaurant going into Copper Moose, of course. We've been talking about that, Toca Boca, and a fusion restaurant with a blending of Asian Mexican flavors is how they describe their food. The pictures look really good. We also have a new business that opened up last week with Foxtail and in Canal Place, which we just mentioned. It's one of those places that it was overwhelmingly visited at her first day open. I mean, she had no idea that there would be that many people, and sold out, and then sold out again, and made more and sold out. So she was really busy. We're happy for her. Also, we visited the Ritter Lodge that was, it used to be Bill Burroughs' place, and it changed hands, and Martin's group purchased it and remodeled it inside, renovated it. It's beautifully done. It really, really looks nice, and it's a 16-guest Airbnb. And they're already booked through pretty much most of the end of the year. So it's just amazing. We're happy for them. And they're welcoming guests this next week. I think tomorrow. So really, if you haven't had a chance to visit it, look at some of the pictures online. You'd be impressed. It's quite nice. Adirondack Bank, the new version of Adirondack Bank across from the library, took possession of their new location and have already completed some of their landscaping, which looks beautiful, and that's what they said they were going to do.
What's the plan with the old bank now?
There's a developer looking at it, and we're still negotiating, working back and forth. They would like some DRI money because they're looking at housing.
Yeah.
And it would be market rate housing with, their plan was to keep the Mohawk Valley Health Services on the lower floor. And they would be building loft apartments above that.
Wow.
So I've seen their work. It's beautiful what they do, and they're well-funded. But they are looking at, for their investors, they always want to have a diversified portfolio of funds coming in, and grants do make a difference.
That's good news.
Pardon?
The bank officially went over the whole banking going down.
Yeah, there's no banking going on over there.
They're over there,
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, so
That's a gorgeous building. Beautiful.
it is. It needs a lot of work, and, it's a huge investment to bring it up to where it needs to be. But, in fact, I was hearing, was it $9 million to bring it up to what they want to do with it? It's not a small chunk of money, so they're very deliberate and very professional how they're navigating through everything. But fingers crossed, and excited about their interest in Little Falls. Continued development, we have CVS Shopping Center still looking at market rate apartments for that strip center there. The owner is looking at that. They're also looking at Berkshire Bank, where the cannabis dispensary was looking at becoming one of their tenants. And just to give you a reminder, the cannabis going in there, that is already zoned for retail. That's a retail outlet, that's C1, that's retail. So they really had no reason or need to come to planning or to talk to anybody in the city if they didn't want to. Just like anybody else, you're renting a space. But they did because they wanted us to understand their business, and they wanted for us to understand their clientele, to get a sense of what we were thinking about such a thing. So they are planning a trip back, still haven't, I think with the holidays and everything, we'll just see. So nothing new to report there, but it is one of those things that's in the queue here. Then we have Adirondack Bank, and we talked about that. The hotel spa is something that they're identifying key personnel right now, so it's nothing happening, just kind of a pause. They're still getting everything lined up. Zeta, no activity. Dairyman, no activity. Rockton Plaza, awaiting grant news. Valley View Courts, early design and scope of work is being done right now. And we met with the Urban Redevelopment Group this past month for workforce housing, and they use a modular concept, also stick housing, but they're small houses, so you're taking people who are working for a living that don't make a ton of money in their jobs, but getting them into a home of their own, I think, is really important, and allowing them to build equity has been one of my passions as far as working on the affordable side of housing. They put together, they had two designs that showed, one was a Cape Cod, another was a ranch style, both about 1,250 square feet, and 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath. One had a garage in it, the other one would have a driveway. So they may even be interested in some of these lots. Dave took them all over town and showed them different parcels that might be of interest to them. So they were very interested in Little Falls, and so we'll see what happens. But that would be, I think, a great thing for our community, and the designs could fit, especially the Cape Cods and the ranch would fit in nicely in our neighborhoods. So we'll see where we go from there. A DRI grant, we still have Main Street Canopy. We're looking for a public forum that we're trying to put together. Chet and I have been working on this for late fall to focus on the elements of the canopy, the diagonal parking, and the bicycle access going down Main Street. A lot of comments about it from the LPC committee. We want to make sure that what we're putting the money into is something that the community really wants. And so that'll be coming up. We'll give you a notification of that hopefully soon. Sealy Promenade, we're still waiting for notification from the Canal Corporation that they have the permits they need for their project. And once that happens, then we can get a better timeline as to when Sealy Street will be ready. Of course, from before, we know that we have to wait for them to do their heavy lifting and the trucks and things going through before we want to put any streetscaping together. The last one is the home grant. We have requested CT Mail to apply again for our home grant. We've done this for years. This time we're increasing to $500,000 instead of $400,000. It's a very popular grant, and it helps out a lot of our senior citizens and low-income people who just don't have the means, the resources, or the physical ability to get things done like roofs or windows replacements, things like porches. So it's well used, and it's worked for a number of years. And last but not least, Rotary, the digital sign grant that they applied for was granted to the Rotary Club. And so it will be one of those things that will, location is what they're looking at right now. And so nothing has been decided except the positive news that the grant did come in. And this is that digital sign for notifications that everybody has been looking at. So very positive sign, and thanks to our friends at Rotary who are always watching out for the city. Any questions, comments?
I have one quick question.
Yes.
So if someone puts an offer to one of those vacant lots, do we have to, do we decide to accept their offer, and then do we have to vote on it, or who's the final?
You know, this is kind of new territory. I would say if we get an offer on something that is not what is being asked, I would like to bring it back here just to make you aware at the very least. This is pretty much all we're going to get out of it. Honestly, it is what it is. If we get anything better than $1 or $500, like we've been doing in the past, I think it's a positive thing. But I can definitely keep you posted on everything that we're doing with these. Each month as I come back, we'll just go through. If there's something in between, I can send an email out to everybody and kind of get a sense of, bringing you up to speed. But there are 18 of them, and it's a lot to come back every time there's negotiating.
Yeah, it's only worth what somebody's gonna pay for it.
It's the market rate, and whatever the market will bear is on these, that they're all very different.
That's what the law requires. The law requires that you sell them at fair market value. So that I talked to the mayor today, and the prices were set by the realtor, what we call it as current market value. I was interested if they were claiming 10 or 15% of the asking price, you give the mayor authorization. Because back in the day, we used to do 100 closings at the office. Various is about 10 or 15%. That way, and that's up to you folks, of course, with the mayor, and I talked about it today, and I never did talk to you about window, like all the window. But that's typical, 10 or 15%.
So it's just like anything else when you post a house for sale. There's going to be negotiating back and forth. So that would be helpful, to have the authorization for 25% would be wonderful, to be honest with you. If it's, more than that, we can talk about it. Bring it back.
The dollar would be just to get rid of the tax rolls, but the law doesn't allow us to do that. We have to sell it for market value.
Well, yeah.
But
In past practices, there have been some, some different things done with regard to some of the
fair
lots.
market value might be the dollar.
It might be.
It
It
might be a little facetious, but.
Yeah, so we'll see. This is, we've never sold quantity before. It's been one by one, every few years, maybe something. We've been sitting on a lot of empty lots for, gosh, I don't know, generations probably. Who knows what were on them, and some of them on the streets, you can tell they were just left over. That the street just went so far and that was it, and there's a big hill behind them. So we'll see how that goes. And, we didn't talk about that, but do you want to take a vote on this for the 25%, or do you want to just, whatever we could, whatever we can get out of it is what we get out of it? Any comments? Any
I don't
thoughts?
think we want to hold up, 10 sales, based on that it's going to be 20% below what we're ask price is. I mean, if it got to 50% or 25% of the ask price, I think we would want to, either just pull it or, come to a point where we're making that decision. I don't know where everybody else feels on that.
I would make a motion to approve sales up to 25% below the asking price that we identified in the resolution.
Okay, do I have a
I'll
second?
that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll get a resolution.
Or
Put
you
together
said
that.
25%?
Yeah, I think 25% is fine. but
Below
if we
ask.
continue Past that, we come to council to approve, but I think with the 25% is.
That way we can kind of move on things too. We don't have to wait so long in between.
People generally want purchase contracts signed quick.
Yeah. Okay,
So do we want to finish that resolution tonight?
We want
Yeah, so we
get offered.
motion for the resolution in a second, so we would have to vote on it.
Why wouldn't we do it tonight?
You're asking for a
Give you
roll
For a
call.
roll call.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, we can
Agreed.
do that.
yeah.
Lyon,
Yes.
Schaefer,
Yes.
Dillon, Rupping,
Yes.
Blackwood,
Yes.
Carter.
What do we vote on?
That are you giving me permission that anything that drops between the ask price and 25%, that I'm
No.
okay to go ahead? If it goes below 25%?
I vote no.
Okay.
Heisman. Yes. We're good.
Okay? So it passed?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, anything else? Okay, we all adjourn. Thank you, everyone.